This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, Eala stars in WTA's Rally the World campaign. Felipe's golden win paves the way for European race dream. F1 boss drops timeline tease for Cadillac's big entry. Messi leads renewed Argentina versus Uruguay. Brazil in World Cup qualifiers. In the NBA, Kings dominant in 122-98 win over Mavericks, who lose Irving to left knee sprain. While Gilgeous-Alexander scores 50 anew as the Thunder ground the Rockets. And Philippine MMA icon Eduard "The Landslide" Folayang talks about his upcoming fight against Japan's Shinya Aoki. All the headlines and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 4th of March. Now here's our roundup. Filipina tennis star Eala was featured in the Women's Tennis Association's Rally the World campaign, joining a prestigious lineup of top players. Eala is the sole Filipina player on the WTA Tour. The campaign, launched across WTA's social media platforms, highlights the global reach of women's tennis and the inspiring stories of all its athletes. Eala, the first Filipina to win a junior Grand Slam singles title, was showcased alongside some of the sport's biggest names, including Coco Gauff, Karolina Muchova, Mira Andreeva, and Victoria Azarenka. Eala said she is grateful to stand among some of the world's best, and of course, we are equally proud of her. Marcelo Felipe just pedaled his way to more than just a national title. He's now gearing up for a shot at high-profile races in Europe after clinching the men's elite gold at the Phil Cycling National Championships for road in Tagaytay City. As per rules, only national champs get to suit up for the country in UCI-sanctioned races, and Felipe just punched his ticket. And the timing couldn't be better. His team is set to roll into Europe next month, adding some big league stops to their busy Asian circuit. But before he jets off, Felipe has his eyes on another classic, the revival of the Tour of Luzon this summer, and he's hungry for a win there too. Felipe dominated the 215-kilometer course in Tagaytay with a time of 5 hours, 2 minutes, and 25.49 seconds. Jericho Lucero came in just 2 seconds back in a nail-biting sprint, with Jeremy Lizardo 4 seconds behind to grab third. When it comes to racing in Europe versus Asia, Felipe knows the drill. According to Felipe, in Europe, teams play it smart, and they control the pace and attack in the climbs. So the key is to be adaptive and be just as aggressive. No exact date yet for his full European tour, but one thing's for sure, Marcelo Felipe and his team are riding this win straight into a big year ahead. Formula One CEO Stefano Domenicali has shed light on the highly anticipated debut of the new American-backed team, Cadillac, as the grid prepares for a game-changing expansion. After months of speculation and an early rejection of the original Andretti bid, F1 fans can finally start counting down. Domenicali confirmed that final formalities are in the works and an official green light for Cadillac's entry could drop any day now. The plan? Cadillac, backed by automotive giant General Motors, is eyeing a full-force launch with Ferrari power units for their first 2 seasons before switching to their own GM engines in 2028. Legendary driver Mario Andretti is helping steer the ship as an advisor, and IndyCar star Colton Herta is currently tipped as the frontrunner for one of the driving seats. The addition of Cadillac and GM to the grid is expected to be a massive boost for the sport, especially in the United States, where F1's popularity is surging. With the final sign-off imminent, all signs point to Cadillac joining the fight on the grid as early as next season. The stage is set, the countdown is on. America's next big move in F1 is almost here. In football, Argentina coach Lionel Scaloni has selected a preliminary list of 33 players led by Lionel Messi for South American qualifying matches against Uruguay and Brazil. One of the bright young talents in a revamped squad is striker Claudio Echeverri, who has just joined Manchester City after having played in the South American Under-20 Championships. Other players who are not yet 21, Nicolas Paz, Benjamin Dominguez, and Santiago Castro were included in the squad. Argentina leads the standings with 25 points after 12 matches. Uruguay has 20 and will host Messi's team at the Centenario Stadium in Montevideo on March 21. 4 days later, the World Cup winners will play Brazil at Buenos Aires Monumental Stadium. In the NBA, Zach LaVine scored 22 points and DeMar DeRozan added 20, each sitting out the fourth quarter as the Sacramento Kings beat Dallas 122-98 Monday night, with the Mavericks losing Kyrie Irving late in the first quarter to a knee sprain. The Kings have won 4 consecutive games, while the Mavericks have dropped 2 straight and 4 of 5. Sacramento played without Domantas Sabonis, the NBA's top rebounder, who suffered a grade 1 left hamstring strain in the first minute of Saturday's win at Houston. Sabonis will miss at least 1 week. Jonas Valanciunas made his first start since being acquired by the Kings on February 5 and had 14 points and 9 rebounds in 23 minutes through 3 quarters. Irving landed awkwardly after being fouled on a drive to the basket and immediately grabbed his leg, remaining on the floor for multiple minutes. He was helped to the free throw line and sank both shots before being helped to the locker room. Kai Jones, signed by Dallas on Monday to a 2-way contract in the wake of injuries to multiple big men, led the Mavericks with 21 points, a career high, and 9 rebounds. Dallas lost another player midway through the third quarter when reserve guard Jaden Hardy left with a right ankle sprain. Meanwhile, Gilgeous-Alexander put up his 4th 50-point game of the season as Western Conference leaders, the Oklahoma City Thunder, marched on with a 137-128 win over the Houston Rockets. NBA leading scorer Gilgeous-Alexander had 51 points with 7 assists, making all 10 of his free throws as the Thunder moved to 50-11 on the season. He made a dominant start to the game, making 20 of the Thunder's 30 first-quarter points. A contender for the league's Most Valuable Player award this year, Gilgeous-Alexander shot 18 for 30 from the field, including 5 of 9 on 3-point attempts. The Thunder didn't have it all their own way, however, with Houston leading by 9 in the second quarter before Oklahoma City went in a point up at the break. The Thunder took control in the third quarter, breaking out to a 102-89 lead before the final quarter when Houston battled back again to get within 6. But consecutive 3-pointers from Lou Dort late in the fourth made sure of the 27th home win against 4 losses for the Thunder. Cam Whitmore top-scored for Houston with 27 points and 11 rebounds, while Reed Shepherd put up 25 points for the 37-24 Rockets. And here are more results from around the NBA. And here's your daily dose of sports lingo. Did you know that in tennis, a winner isn't just a point, it's the shot that leaves your opponent standing still. In tennis, a winner is a clean, unstoppable shot that lands in play and is out of the opponent's reach, leaving them with no chance to return the ball. It's the ultimate offensive play. Whether it's a blistering forehand down the line, a sharp backhand cross-court, or even a sneaky drop shot that dies just over the net, unlike an enforced error where the opponent makes a mistake, a winner is all about skill and strategy, showing total control of the point and ending it on your own terms. A player who consistently hits winners often dominates matches, forcing their opponent to stay on the defensive. It's a clear display of who's dictating dictating the pace and calling the shots quite literally. Now it's time for our off-court buzzer. Tennis legend Serena Williams is taking her talents courtside, joining the ownership group of Toronto Tempo, the first ever WNBA franchise in Canada, adding even more star power to the highly anticipated expansion team set to debut in the 2026 WNBA season. Williams, one of the greatest athletes of all time with 23 Grand Slam singles titles, is set to play an active role beyond ownership. According to the team, Williams will be directly involved in creating the Tempo's jersey designs and will help lead exclusive merchandise collaborations, giving the team a unique global brand identity from day one. The team is expected to play most of its home games at an 8,700-seat arena in downtown Toronto, with select matchups scheduled in Montreal and Vancouver to build a coast-to-coast fan base and boost the profile of women's basketball across Canada. Bringing Serena Williams on board is a major statement not just for the franchise, but for the future of the WNBA as it continues its global expansion. With her influence, business savvy, and massive fan following, the Tempo are poised to make waves from the moment they hit the court. As the excitement builds towards 2026, one thing is clear. The Toronto Tempo are ready to make history, and Serena Williams might be right there helping lead the charge. And that's our roundup for tonight, the 4th of March. When we return, join us as we chat with Philippine MMA icon, Eduard the Landslide Folayang. Watch out for that when we return right here on The Scorecard.
From the filing of candidacies until the last ballot is counted, your newest trusted news source, BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel, will be at the forefront to guide your decisions and guard your vote. Tune in to BNC's Election 2025 special coverage.
Good morning, I'm Mikey Oreta and you're watching Business 360, where we break down the numbers.
This week we saw the S&P 500 make a new historic high.
Connect the dots.
I withdrew from the World Health Organization.
And give you the developments and insights you need to navigate, adapt, and lead. Eala Corporation is funding artificial intelligence and data science research at the University of the Philippines.
Business 360, hosted by Mikey Oreta.
Keep it here on BNC,
the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
De escuchar las noticias del concierto ayer al que no pude ir porque ya tenía entrada para ayer, ha sido reconfortante, ha sido increíble, ha sido maravilloso poder tenerla cerca y al menos así de cierta manera poder verla hasta que se reprograme la fecha cancelada.
Welcome back to The Scorecard. With his relentless fighting spirit and dominant style, he put the Philippines in the global MMA map, paving the way for Filipino mixed martial arts fighters whose brand of courage continues to give honor and pride to our country. Here's Eduard the Landslide Folayang to talk about his enduring power and influence that continue to inspire a new generation of Highland warriors. We are here right now with one of the most recognizable faces in Philippine mixed martial arts. In history, actually, a living legend, former one lightweight champion. We have Eduard the Landslide Folayang. Eduard, thank you so much for the time and welcome back to the Philippines.
Thank you, Anton, and thank you for the time.
Eduard, you did not compete in 171, but you were there celebrating. You carried Joshua after his victory. But everybody is wondering, when will we see Eduard Folayang compete again? So what is your current status? You look like you're in excellent shape as always. Ano ba ang pinagkakaabalahan natin ngayon?
For now, I have a schedule on March 23. So I will be fighting again against Shinya Aoki for the 4th time. So still preparing and looking forward to get another win.
The last time you competed in one championship was September 30, 2023. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Why has it been so long since you last competed?
I don't know, last year I was expecting to be more busy, but I think there's a lesser fight for mixed martial arts last year, so it was a great news for us when I heard that Joshua, Danny, Jeremy, and me are fighting in the first quarter of the year. So we work as a team. We do our part, and the result was amazing when Joshua took home the belt again.
What was going through your mind when he was doing the ground and pound to Jared Brooks, and then after, obviously, you were so happy you lifted them up. Did you know that the finish was gonna be like that for Joshua?
Yeah, but I'm not expecting that early, because our game plan was to go on the later rounds. But the good thing with Joshua is he was able to see the opportunity when and seize it when he already feel that Jared Brooks was already out, So, and all the Filipinos there are chanting that finish him, tapusin. So I think that's a great moral booster for Joshua to ginanahan talaga para tapusin yung laban.
Okay, Edward, kapansin-pansin yung mga suot nyo ngayon. The Lion. Obviously, this is the new name that you guys are building. You're taking your careers into your own hands. Lions Nation MMA. We're hearing this a lot now. Tell us about the origin of Lions Nation MMA. How did you come up with this name?
Actually, when we got separated with our former team, I and Joshua flew to the US for training. And there we are thinking for the name of the team that we will be, starting. So Joshua suggested the Lion, but we train with Chris Cyborg, in the US.
Okay.
Yung sikat na isang mixed martial artist din na babae. So yung pangalan kasi ng team niya ay ng gym niya is Cyborg Nation.
Cyborg Nation. So that's where the nation came from.
So yun, Lions Nation. So, it's sa amin we nag-fit kasi syempre it will not just be a team, it will be a nation of lions.
Okay. I had a different idea, akala ko kasi because of the lion head in Baguio.
Yun nga, nataon din na. So everything works together for the name itself. So very very happy din kami kasi dun lang namin talaga naalala na may layo yun pala sa Cannon Road. So, it's a good thing we name it as it is,
Edward, now you're 41 years old. Bibiano Fernandez, after 5 fights with Kevin Bellingon, just retired at 44 or 45. I'm actually not sure how old he is because Wikipedia says 44, but he said he was 45. How are you feeling at the age of 41, and do you feel like you still have a lot of gas left in the tank?
Of course, I think the very important thing is the fire, you know. Once the fire in me subside, then I think I need to to hang up my gloves. But you know, there's still, andun pa naman yung apoy. So, siguro, mawawala din naman yun, slow down din. Pero I just really want to seize the opportunity habang kaya pa nating lumaban. Kasi given naman yan na we will not always be here fighting. But you know, the important thing is that we have no regrets when we already said it is already finished, you know.
Edward, marami ka nang na-accomplish sa career mo, marami ka nang dinaan ng mga gera. Para sa'yo, ano yung crowning achievement mo sa iyong mixed martial arts career? Was it the SEA Games gold medals or was it the one lightweight championship? Para sa'yo, what's number one for you?
Sa akin yung number one nung, syempre, when I become a world champion in one championship. Because doon kasi sa amateur career ko, I was able to get gold medals naman in Southeast Asian Games. I was able to get medals in World Championships and Asian Games. Pero iba talaga kapag nag-world champion ka din doon sa professional level eh. So, you know, it's just a continuation nung mga bagay na hindi mo na-achieve sa past. So I think, yeah, that was the most spectacular thing to remember for me yung nung natalo ko yung isang legend ng sport and become a world champion myself.
I wanted to ask that for my next question. Yung laban mo kay Amir Khan, so you won the one lightweight belt from him and your last fight was also against him. So ano yun, nagkataon lang ba yun? Or tingin mo there's some meaning behind that occurrence?
Siguro kasi yun nga, hindi ko siya natapos ng championship. Tapos tinapos ko siya ng hindi na championship. So alam mo yun, from 5 rounds to 3 rounds. Yeah. Doon ko sa 3 rounds siya natapos. Sa akin may meaning.
Okay, I'm a little bit concerned to be honest, Edward, kasi it's been more than 1 year and a half actually since you last competed. Should the fans be worried? How, in terms of like your preparations and your training, kamusta ka naman? Are you ready to compete again?
Of course naman, syempre mas mag-worry lang sila kapag wala akong ginagawa. You know, doing things that are really different from the things that I am doing. Pero hindi eh. I'm still in the same sport, yung mga kasama mo still doing the same sport as you are. So, you know, namomotivate ako and I give motivation to them. So, yun. Siguro, normal naman na nag-worry minsan yung mga fans mo kapag syempre at my age, ganun. Pero for me, myself, I know myself. I am doing this every day. So, hindi naman talaga hindi nakapagbibigay ng bagay na nakakapagpa-nervyos sa mga fans natin.
Okay. For last question, Edward, we touched on Lions Nation MMA. So, what are the goals of Lions Nation MMA for 2025?
Of course, yung goals natin for 2025, more wins. Yun, na-defend natin yung belt. Sana mas marami pang mga competition for our fighters to level up. Maganda ring balita kasi from rankings, nagkaroon na ng rank yung isang kasama natin, si Jeremy Pacatiu. So, dalawa na tayong andon sa ranking ng bantamweight, si Stephen Luman, number 2, and Jeremy Pacatiu, number 5. So, syempre, mas matutuwa pa tayo kapag mas malapit pa silang makapaglaro for championship titles. And yun ang goal natin for 2025. Hopefully, mas marami pang competition yung may bibigay ng one sa atin para mas maibigay pa natin yung full potential natin.
Grabe, parang coach/manager yung kausap natin yan. Memorize na yung rankings ng lahat ng mga athletes. Edward, thank you so much. It's great catching up with you again, and all the best this 2025 and your return to One Championship as a competitor.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity and for the time.
Edward, the landslide Folayang here on the Scorecard. And when the Scorecard returns, we will look into the NBA matchups so you can keep your eyes on the prize. Welcome back to the Scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. I don't know where to start with this topic right here because the Dallas Mavericks' season has taken a nosedive. Kyrie down, AD's uncertain comeback, and the roster on life support. Hay nako. Welcome to the roller coaster that is the 2024-25 Dallas Mavericks. Less than a month ago, the Mavs were the talk of the league. Controversial, but compelling. They shook up the NBA by shipping Luka Doncic to the Lakers for AD. Anthony Davis essentially betting their entire future on AD's ability to dominate alongside Kyrie Irving. Fast forward to a few weeks, Davis has played exactly one game. Isa lang. Before Dallas hit the injured list, and now Kyrie has joined him. Of all people, Kyrie Irving. Ouch! If you had the Mavs season fall apart before March Madness on your bingo cards, congrats. This AD experiment is already in limbo. Anthony Davis arrived in peak Kobe fashion though. Stayed in. You have to give him credit for that. He stayed in to hit 2 free throws with tears in his eyes before limping off the court. The Mavericks, already down multiple rotation players, obviously never recovered, getting torched 98-122 in a game that was over by halftime. Jason Kidd called the injury unlucky and gave the classic coach speak non-answer about hoping it's not serious. But the reality is brutal. Kyrie was playing some of his best basketball of the season, averaging 25-plus points per game since the Luka trade. But now, he is out indefinitely. And without him, Dallas is running out a lineup that's one bad fall away from suiting up a fan from the third row. Jaden Hardy, isa pa, went down the same night with an ankle sprain of his own, leaving the Mavs with exactly 9 healthy players. 9. LeBron sent his prayers. Luka reacted on Instagram. But that will not fix the mess in Dallas. The Mavs are stuck in NBA purgatory. Not bad enough to tank, not good enough to matter. Tied with the Kings at 32-29, they're barely clinging to the final play-in spot, and the schedule brutal. Clippers, Suns, Nuggets, Celtics, teams that actually have something to play for. And if Kyrie's out for long and AD's body keeps betraying him, woo! This could go south really fast. Before Kyrie Irving's injury, Dallas was a long shot at plus 6,600. Basically, anything's possible. But let's be real. Now, you could double that and still be generous. Without Kyrie, they lack shot creation, defense, and identity. And even if AD returns, he's not carrying this offensive solo. If Kyrie's out long-term, it's time to book flights to Cancun. The bottom line is, the Mavs' season isn't dead yet, but it's on life support. Their hopes rest on AD staying healthy, a big if, and Kyrie's injury being minor. If not, this isn't a playoff push. It's a franchise-altering disaster. A trade meant to elevate Dallas might have just set them back 5 years. That's the reality. And that's a wrap for tonight's preview. Stay locked in and keep your eyes on the prize. Before we go, think on this. From a Jamaican sprinter who won 8 Olympic gold medals, Usain Bolt once said, "I trained 4 years to run 9 seconds. And people give up when they don't see results in 2 months." And with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow on the Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport, on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. This has been Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Good night.